Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander. I'm here to host our show, Life After Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Yeah, hello, everyone.
All right. And we also have my other co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, hi. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, and that's Jenniferdawn. You there, Jennifer?
I am very much here. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, is Barbara there?
I'm here. Welcome to the show,
okay,
Jennifer.
good.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess maybe for a second there, your voices sounded the same. Now, Jennifer, let's clear up. You've done medical intuitive energy work and conscious-based practices. Is that it? You do those things. And hidden blockages. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I think that I get out supporting wellness, whether that's wellness in spirit, whether that's wellness in the body, whether it's wellness and healing in the heart. My work is to be here as a transmission of healing and to help usher people back to their hearts to really come home to themselves more fully.
I see. Now, let me ask you this: Does either Kelly, do you have anything to add to that, or do you have anything to add to that, Barbara?
I'm very excited to hear more about this, but I have more specific questions because I know that Jennifer works with people to bring out their best, like their highest selves that they can be. So, but I have an example. I have a question about, say you're working with a couple and they're arguing and they are obviously not being their best. What kind of things do you tell them specifically to do? What kind of tools or exercises can they do to work on becoming their best when they're already angry and they're already fighting and they're at that horrible part in the relationship that they just think it's going to not work? Would you be able to fix that?
That's a great question, Barb, and it's a common issue right now in the world, as for so many of us, our emotions are really heightened, and so we become triggered even more easily than perhaps we would have in the past. And so one of the things that I love to support people in understanding and remembering is anyone who is quote-unquote misbehaving is coming from a place of their own wounding. That's the place from which we are reactive. That is the place from which we project. That's the place from which we blame. It is from our wounded parts from within. And so the first thing that I love to do, if I have the opportunity to sit with couples, is actually drop in together with our breath and stillness to get to a place where we can each step into a greater remembrance of who we are, right? That we are all innocent, even if we are misbehaving. And if we can start to see another person's outbursts or projections as they're wounding, then we can within ourselves reach for more spaciousness and compassion to respond to them differently. So it's really about redirecting and remembering, like what would happen, Barb, if every single person you met through the lenses of seeing them as if maybe they had just come through the most horrific trauma you could ever imagine.
Then you would definitely have compassion. You would come at them with compassion. And that totally makes sense because people who were in my past who, I left maybe not so well, maybe a relationship or a friendship, they have come after my accident and they've come from a completely different way within. And that was with compassion. So, wow, I did, looking at it that way is such a good way to look at it. It makes perfect sense.
So what
Wow.
we are doing in essence here when we are sitting, for example, with two individuals who are in a really heated exchange, is to back everybody up, to remember more spaciousness, right? To have more compassion as we engage. And then we can start to have a very different conversation. Then we're not having a conversation from the place of you did this to me and you did that to me, but we start to be able to have a conversation from a place of I'm feeling hurt in this moment. I'm feeling activated. I'm feeling triggered. And we start to bring the focus back to the individual. And from that place, we can start to articulate what our needs are and start to find a safer foundation from which to be working. You know, in any relationship, it's really healthy to have this language. I use it not infrequently with my beautiful teenage children. I use it with people I love. But when I'm in a state of reactivity and I know that I'm not walking in the version of myself that I desire to embody, I will frequently say, I love you way too much to have this conversation right now.
That's very good. That is wonderful. Wow, that really answers a lot right there. Do you work with people who have a depression problem? Say they're just an individual, they should be happy, everything's going fine, but they're always feeling down. They're just depressed in the mind. How do you work with that?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, both depression and anxiety are far more common than most of us are even aware. And part of the beauty of this work, when I sit down with someone, every single session is completely 100% unique. No two people are ever experiencing depression for the same reason. For some people, there may be unresolved trauma, and we actually get to identify that either together or we simply meet it through energy work, and we can help support the resolution of where trauma has been held in the body or in the energy field. Or perhaps it's built upon trapped or unintegrated emotional experience, which is similar to trauma, although it presents different energetically. And so we work with those pieces. For other people, some of their depression can actually be because they are such a powerful being and they're running such a high frequency, or they're running so much energy that energy isn't flowing optimally, and it actually can be concentrated in the lower chakras, creating a sense and perception of density. And so often we can open up some of that energy, and that absolutely shifts. It gives that energy a new place to move. And they can actually start to tap into this wellspring of energy that becomes motivation. For other people, yeah, for sure. For other people, we identify where there are sometimes some chemical imbalances, where we identify neurotransmitters that are out of balance, for example. And so very often in that case, we may be reaching for some different supplementation, some dietary changes in combination with energy work and emotional integration work. So I've never, ever met two individuals that were experiencing depression or anxiety for exactly the same reasons. And so we meet them exactly where they're at, and we start to unpack and unravel what's going on for them.
And then
I have a question.
Could you put them off their medication? Sorry, Johnny. I was just asking.
Can you repeat
about
that, Barb?
medication. I was going to ask you, so then you can get them off of whatever medication they're on, and then you can actually tell them, look, your depression could be actually a good thing, because we could switch this depression, the energy that's going there for that depression, to energy for the good. So, but if they're taking a medication, that might be a little more difficult, or not?
No, not at all. And that's a fantastic question, truly. So in the work that I do, often people will come in and they'll say, oh, tell me what fish oil do you recommend? What supplement do you recommend for this thing? And I will always answer them, I don't recommend anything. We're going to ask your body what you need. And so part of the answer to your question is, like, if an individual's body is indicating that a form of medication is a support for them, whether temporarily or longer term, I have no judgment toward that. Like, my opportunity is to support people in feeling fantastic. And if that means we're going to be working with a medication for a little while, great. If that means we're going to work with a flower essence, fantastic. If that means we're going to work with a homeopathic or an herbal remedy, it doesn't matter. It's all divine. It's our relationship to anything that we are engaging with that defines how it will serve or not serve us. So yes, I also see so often people who are coming in who are on medication that within within a few months, we are shifting to something else and they're finding that they don't need that. And that is so beautiful, but that's not my goal. My goal is to help people feel better, whatever that means for them.
That's good news for a lot of people.
I have a
Jonathan,
question.
you had a
we
question.
have a caller. Yeah, I was wondering if we could take a caller. We have a caller waiting.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is Trish from Connecticut. Trish, you're on the air.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I was calling because I didn't know if you were going to do readings today, and I wanted to get in line to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Trish, I'm so happy to have the opportunity to connect with you. What is your question?
My question is, I've been involved, back and forth in a legal situation that just never seems to end, and I'm wondering if now I have come close enough to resolution.
Yeah, thank you. It's a really great question. You're immediately, there's some feedback that's coming through about opportunities here for you to be transcending some shame pieces as well as fear. And it has to do with like fear of engaging with a system that has that is perceived to have a certain amount of authority or power over you. And this is actually a karmic piece that you're working with. And you've really offered a lot of energy to meet this situation. Like I can feel the exhaustion in your sweet body and nervous system, and everything that you've been doing to try to get through this. And there's this invitation that comes through for you to consider, in addition to the other pieces that you're doing to meet what's being asked of you, to also start to open to, the way I'm seeing this is almost like kind of opening a little bit to some prayer work, whatever that means to you. You can be praying or communicating with any source that to you represents the oneness from which we all originate. And so what I'm seeing is like this invitation to kind of start to open to whatever is here for me to learn from and to grow into. I open to the blessing of this. And whatever is here to be healed and transcended, so be it. There's a piece here that's really powerful for you to help this move along by really opening to this bigger piece that's more than just getting the case over. It's really about transcending some old energies that are needing to transcend. And if you're open to even just a small mantra to work with, whenever you think about this case, whenever you think about the legal situation, if you can even open to the mantra just whenever you think of it, the highest outcome for all.
Yeah, that's great. I know I'm very open to a mantra.
Yeah. There's something in that, Trish, because part of what's been happening is because of the duration that this has been going, there's actually a visceral response that happens in your belly. You can probably feel it, right? When you think of it or when you get a call or an email or something else you're supposed to do, there's like this in your system. And if you're able to meet that just a little bit differently with this mantra, with the essence of these words, the highest outcome for all, you're actually going to really help the trajectory of resolution come faster than it is right now.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you. I appreciate that advice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're so welcome.
Okay. I wanted to give Kelly a chance. Kelly, did you have any questions?
Well, thank you. I have been taking note, and I'm not sure, like, if you could read, me as far as I've gone through a lot in the past couple months, and I know I'm in the state of, transcending old energies, but, sometimes it's so painful and it feels overwhelming, and then, it seems like everything's happening at once, and yet it's also changing and transforming and everything, just as quickly. But, I guess it would be great to find out if there's anything I can do that would help, things happen in the best way possible.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kelly. And wow, sister, you called this in a really big way. You have been in your own prayerful way, like claiming your bigger yes in the world. You have been in both quiet and overt ways affirming your readiness to step into yourself in a much bigger way. And what that has required of you in this really profound way is like stepping into the rock tumbler, right, of experience, and you are unraveling. You're unraveling. You're unraveling old, outdated energies. You are unraveling a shitload of ancestral energy. I think you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, in this huge way, you are rewriting relationship patterns, especially on your mother's line. So there's been a way that right now you are still perceiving some of what's happening as that it's happening to you. But in essence and in truth, Kelly, this is all happening for you, because you have still been aligning with some reflections, including relationship, that reflect an outdated way of being for you. And part of what you're doing in this time of transformation is you're starting to shed those old patterns. And so often that is going to feel like you're being undone. It's going to feel like you're being unraveled. It's going to feel like you have no sides of the pool to hold on to, that nothing is familiar anymore, that nothing feels safe. And what's happening is you're creating more space for the emergence of your soul self. You're creating more space for more of you. You are a healer. You're a light worker. And it's like you're on the fast track to claiming your power and your light. And it's creating this movement that is requiring this massive letting go and shedding. And what you're going to find, Kelly, and it's going to take you a little bit of time because your nervous system is reattuning to this new way of being, but what you're going to find is that you don't need the sides of the pool to hold on to anymore, that you don't need what's familiar in order to feel safe. You're going to find that in you. And the imagery that I keep getting of you is like you're filling your shoes like never before. But in order to do that, it's requiring this complete restructuring of your whole being. And often that means nervous system overstimulation. So you had asked, like, what can I do? And part of what you would benefit from so much, sweet Kelly, is more time for integration. You have to understand that you're undergoing like a whole nervous system upgrade, right? And even right now, as I'm talking to you, we're going to just transmit some energies that are going to help you, and you're probably going to notice a little bit of movement. So I want to invite you to just breathe through that. And to all of the listeners who are listening as well, in any ways that this is of support or benefit to you, you can just simply open to this healing transmission to support the nervous system, because, right, this is a time on the planet where we're all having some nervous system overstimulation. But for you, Kelly, having time throughout your day to integrate what is already in motion will allow you to be an active participant in it, rather than feeling like there's a whole lot of life happening to you. your guides are wanting to reorient you just a little bit to understanding that everything that's happening right now is happening on your behalf, and your soul is actually out in the forefront guiding this whole process.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Do you have points that you want to clarify around that? Anything that you just heard that you would like more information on?
How do I do the the integrating what's in motion like throughout the day? Like, I mean, how do I do that? How do I form thought around that? How do I recognize that?
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a really important clarifying question. So this for you can be as simple as setting aside a few times a day, let's say 3, 4, 5 times a day, you commit to anywhere between 20 seconds and a minute to get still and to check in with you. So that may be you're at a stoplight and you close your eyes for a second and you just connect with your breath. Okay? It may be that you're in the middle of many things throughout your day and you're committed to this, and so you stop what you're doing. You go stand outside. Maybe you even take your shoes off. You let your toes feel the grass, and you feel your connection to the earth, and you connect with your intention to integrate the frequencies that are already operating on your behalf to restructure your nervous system, to be the conduit of light and healing that you are. So you can listen back to those words, or you can simply just receive this transmission, and as you tune into this transmission, you'll be able to get that frequency. So really it's as simple as 3, 4, 5 times a day for just a few seconds. Stop what you're doing, close your eyes, connect with your breath, and intend to be an active participant in what is already unfolding. And as you do that, your nervous system every time is going to calm, and it's when we're calmer and we're more relaxed that you will be more present in everything that you're doing, but that is also when we heal. When we're in a state of constriction or stress, it's harder for our body to step toward its highest expression of healing. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Do you see anything nutritionally that I should be doing?
It's a great question. Let me just tune into that. Well, you've been trying a bunch of different things.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, you sure have. Right now, you're going to notice that less animal protein is actually going to be supportive. There's a way that your body, again, you're in this real transformative time where, if you will, the emergence of your light body is a big part of your experience. And so this is going to be a time where lighter fare, lighter eating is actually going to serve you much better than ever before. Now, as I say that, it's also important for you to understand that you tend to run anemic. Are you aware of that?
I used to be as a teenager during the cycle, so that would make sense that it maybe if I've had blood tests in the past, it wasn't during that time, so they looked normal. But as a teen, they caught it.
Yeah, and this is an important awareness for you to have, especially, for example, if you were going to move toward a diet that was a little bit lighter in animal protein, at least for now, that you might want to look at getting like a liquid iron supplement. The one that comes through for you is Floridix, and you're not really needing a lot of that, but even a teaspoon 3 times a week could really help keep things balanced for you, because you've probably noticed your endocrine system is a little bit wobbly right now. Your thyroid is a little bit off. Your adrenals are a little bit off. And so it's interesting, but actually just supplementing with a little bit of iron a couple of times a week is going to be kind of this backdoor approach for you of balancing some more of your endocrine system. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been having trouble trying to lose weight. And, I thought it was partly, due to an accident and not being able to be as active, but I'm now finally, starting to be more active, and the weight should be going down, and it's really not. it's just staying the same, I think.
A part of that, a significant part of it, is the underfunctioning right now of your thyroid gland. So it is having an impact on some metabolism. But you can actually, it's interesting because your body is pretty clear that it's not that you need thyroid supplementation or even to address the thyroid directly. What you'll really benefit from is kind of changing, again, how you're nourishing yourself is actually going to allow for more light and more energy to run, because you naturally run a pretty high frequency, but it's just not running frequently right now. It's just not running optimally right now, excuse me. So if you make a few dietary shifts, you're going to notice your endocrine system kick in on its own. Have you been playing with the idea of a ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
Is that something you've been looking at? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid because my friend said it can really burn out your kidneys or, different things. So
yeah, it's like with anything that you're doing, you have to be aware of what you're doing and support yourself through it. If you were to look at that option, what you would be looking at, and for whatever reason this comes through as being important information to offer you, but please understand, if you were going to go that route, you would want to be focusing more on vegetables and fat than you would want to, because of what's happening with your body, you want to kind of steer away, not too much animal protein and not too much dairy. But beyond that, the ketogenic diet actually looks pretty darn supportive for you, especially if you were doing some intermittent fasting with that.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. So like more beans and lentils and things like that, and rice and grains.
So all of those things are not on a ketogenic diet. So you can kind of look into what that is. A ketogenic diet is really about the highest percentage of what you're taking in is actually in healthy fat. And then for you, it would be then like vegetables. And that would be, whatever's in season, but lower in carbohydrates. And so lentils, grains, legumes, things like that are not actually a part of that eating plan.
Oh, okay.
Does that answer all your questions, Kelly?
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that the leaner protein would be like chicken and nuts and seeds.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Fish too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I still have a plan, so thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have a caller.
Jonathan.
Go ahead and put this person from Arizona. Area code 805. You're on the air. Hello? Okay, well, when I streamed it, there was no answer. So now, I guess, Barbara, did you have anything more to add than what you said earlier?
Yes. Well, I wanted to know a little bit about me. And just really quickly, I feel like I know I'm going to go forward and I'm happy for my future, but I just left something major behind, and I feel this creeping sensation of maybe it's evil, maybe it's a bad spirit lingering, maybe it's just anxiety because it's just gone now, and I just sometimes think it might show up. But I want to get rid of it. If it's evil spirit, I want to get rid of it. If it's just this lingering anxiety, I would like to know. I just want to move forward and be happy. I am under stress right now because of going through a move right now, but sometimes the stress, when I have stress, I do better because it motivates me. So I handle stress very well. I just feel that presence of evil. Or do you feel anything?
Yeah, so I'm going to actually guide you through a little practice. And again, this is of benefit to anyone who is listening. There is a healing transmission that's happening. So Barbara, I want you to just take a minute with me and get comfortable in your body. So just situating your body in a way that allows you to drop in with yourself. I want to invite you to close your eyes and connect with your breath. And take just a moment, Barbara, to really feel and invite the level of support that's around you. You're surrounded with these people on this call who care about you, who value you. Opening to the support of your guides, your ancestors, the angels and archangels, and all of the supportive energies that are here with you. So we're opening to their support and guidance. Just feel that for a moment. Just really rest into that embrace. And from that place, Barbara, I want to invite you from this very safe container to tap into that energy, that looming energy that you have had an experience of. And I want you to tell me, where do you notice that? Do you notice that in your body or outside of your body in the field around you? Or not at all?
Outside of my body.
Okay. In the front or the back or the side? Where is that?
Front side.
Right side or left side?
Right.
Okay. So just tune into that for a moment. What we are doing together in this really safe space, Barbara, is we're meeting this energy like never before. Everything is source. Everything is the divine. We need to just identify and understand this particular energy more fully so that your relationship to it and its relationship to you will be different. So, Barbara, what color is that energy?
Orangish yellow.
Okay. Is it moving or is it still?
Still.
Say that again?
It is still.
Okay. Could you put your hand through it?
It's far away in the corner. I can't reach it.
Great. Okay, so pause there for a moment. Great. Good job, Barbara. Okay, now I'd like you to just ask this energy, what is it that you would like me to better understand? And whatever comes to you, for you it will be in your knowing, because you're very clairsentient. So just voicing whatever you hear, even if it doesn't make sense to you, we want to give voice to this energy as we allow it to change in relationship to you.
Okay. It asked me the question. It told me what I don't understand about it.
Okay. Are you comfortable sharing that?
It's doing something different. It's doing something differently. I'm noticing it's like, I think I'm making it. It's particles now, like kind of dissolving. They're like floating still, but they're turning more greenish blue. And they're like a computer screen that's like pixelated. And I think I could just poof that away now. I'm feeling more control.
Okay. And you can, if that's your inclination, and you don't have to. But take a moment to just have some gratitude to this energy for the way that it's choosing to communicate, like what it shared with you. Just the way we always want to respond to those communications is by saying thank you, I love you. And it's not that we're loving an energy. It's not that we're loving an experience. We're loving the part of you that's been having this experience. Okay? And I can speak more to that at another time. How is this appearing to you now?
Let me feel this. I feel that it might still be there waiting for me to give it some kind of an answer.
Yep.
Which I never did have the answer for it. So will it stay there until I just give it any answer, or
no,
it's not?
No, we're going to do.
Okay.
Great. I'm glad, but we're going to take this further. We're going to let this absolutely transcend to its completion. So I would like to invite you to ask this energy, first of all, if there's anything else that it wants you to know. And if you receive that, or when you receive that information, again, receive that with gratitude and hold that for a moment.
Okay.
Okay. And then inquiring again if there's anything else until the answer is no.
Okay.
And then I'd like you to ask this energy the question, what do you need? So we're not asking you, Barbara. You are asking this energy, what does it need? And it may not make sense to you. It may need a red balloon. It may need a pink blanket. It may need a hug. It may need patience. Whatever you hear or intuit or sense, you can give the essence of that to this energy.
It says
you see it in your mind's eye.
It says it does not need anything.
Okay. Beautiful.
I'm really hearing it strongly. Like acting like it's never been a problem and it just doesn't want anything. It would like to stay right there in the corner all the time.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like now that I know, then I can live with that. I can act like it doesn't exist and ignore it. Maybe it will get bored and go away. That's how I'm feeling right now. I might not feel that way in a minute or two or an hour. Maybe it's going to bug me.
Right.
I want it to go away, but what if it refuses to?
Okay. It's a great question. So what we're going to do is just invite this energy as an extension of any part of you, as an extension of the source from which we all originate. We're going to invite this energy to move more fully integrated into your heart, to be held and supported, and to be loved. And so you get to ask this energy if it would like that movement, if it's open to that movement.
Yes, it said it would.
And how do you feel about that, Barbara? Can you invite this as an extension of who you are into your heart?
Yes, I feel like that would be fine. That will be okay.
Does that feel safe and supportive to you?
Yes.
Excellent. So I'd like you to go ahead and do that, just really working with the visions that come to you. Create a beautiful little nest in your heart that is specifically for this energy. Again, as an extension of you, and invite that energy to climb right up into that nest, to be held and supported, and to be integrated into the wholeness of your being, to support you in your walking, to support you in moving toward the joy and the fulfillment that you're seeking. Inviting this energy to become a part of the propelling force that moves you forward into the life that you are ready to lead. Any ways that it has ever been perceived as something that has held you back, it now transforms into an energy that moves you forward.
Wow, I really am seeing the light. It's gone. You have really fixed that problem. And I really can see how, just by this positive work, that you really have the answers for any problem. That was amazing. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Barbara. And just to be super clear, I actually don't have the answers to anything. But what we get to do together, what we're doing together.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very much. But what we're doing together is we're tapping in. Just a second, Jonathan, let me just finish this thought. But what we're doing together is we're tapping into the field of consciousness where all the answers reside. So they're not mine, but they're ours. And that's what we do together.
You
so just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, that is amazing. Wow. I'm thankful.
Well, what I was going to say is that we have a caller from 401. 401, you're on the air. Hello? Hello? I was talking to her a moment ago. She was from Rhode Island.
Oh.
Well, we will welcome her to call back if she would like to connect.
Okay, yeah. All right. let me see if I can talk to her. I'll be right back.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's here. Hi.
Hello. Tell me your name. You're calling from Rhode Island, is that right?
Okay, I'm putting her on
perhaps
right
not.
now.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Hello.
Rhode Island, you there?
I'm here.
Hi.
Thank you. Okay, you had a question. Yeah.
Jennifer.
Please tell me your name.
My name is Kerry. Keri.
Keri, Carrie. Hello, Carrie. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm a first-time listener. Was drawn to your show this evening for some reason, which I don't believe in coincidences. Very empathic and have gone through my own spiritual awakening of sorts over the past few years. Still trying to get my grounding and bearings together. A lot of energy that's displaced and decisions to be made. So I was open to any, healing modalities, anything that you may have for me, advice as to how best to clear out my energy around me to stay centered and focused, rooted, and know that decisions I'm making are for my best, highest purpose, along my spiritual path.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. These are all fantastic questions. I'm going to do my best to really touch each one that you just asked. So I want to speak first to this place in you that really, really understands the empath that you are. And you're in this period of your life. You're going to be here for about 3 years where you're really clarifying your role as an empath. And what you've experienced up until about a year ago was you really felt the impact of the world on you, right? You were feeling sensitive to other people. You felt what was unresolved in them. You felt uncomfortable in your body when you're in other people's fields. And what's happening right now, Carrie, is the baton is flipping, and you're going to step more and more fully and into an understanding of yourself that you're actually here to impact the world around you. And this is what's happening. There's this great and beautiful transformative awakening that's happening for empaths everywhere right now. So even just understanding that that's part of your process right now is going to help you trust yourself more fully, because your orientation to your whole existence, like how you relate to everything, is being flipped upside down. So you're going to need a lot of tools and support right now to help reorient you to this new understanding and this new way of being. So you're going to want to inundate your life right now with resources that can help you understand yourself more fully. There's a book by Alex Miles called Empath. You might look into that. It's not because everything that's in that book is going to speak to you. I'm sorry, did you have a question about that?
Oh, wow, no, I'm just taken aback because I don't really utilize social media often, but I was on Instagram earlier and I came across a post, and it's by Alex Miles, and I had no idea who he was, but it was quoted 2014 stating lost and abandoned, 2015 crashed and burned, 2016 reduced to ashes, 2017 survival and transformation, 2018 regenerated and rising, and 2019 rebirth and resurrection. And I lost my father in 2014, and I absolutely relate to that quote. So there are no coincidences here.
No, that's right, Carrie. There are no coincidences, and that energy is in your field because that book would not come through for everyone, but it comes through for you. So that may just be an affirmation for you to be tuning into that work and finding your own truth within it. It's not that any one person is going to have all the answers at all. That's not what this is about. But there's a way that you're going to benefit so much from reflections around you that help you clarify for yourself who you are and who you want to be. So that's part of what comes through. Now, decision making for you. You are a person, and this is different for each of us. To all of the callers that are listening in on this call, please understand that this piece may not be true for you, but for you, Carrie, it is that for you to make any decision, you are what's called emotionally led, and so you do not want to make any decision from emotion. So if you're out car shopping and you see the car and you fall in love with it, sweet sister, you have to walk away. Okay?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, good. You actually are a person who, to make and really trust your decisions, you actually need to kind of be at a place of neutrality. Okay? So that's part of this process. But what I want you to understand more than anything else is that as you deepen relationship with yourself, as you start to learn more about trusting yourself, you're not going to question your decision making. Okay. You also asked, like, how do I best keep myself clear, right?
Well, yeah.
Because you really understand.
With another human, with my significant other, we actually were unmarried, but we own property together, and it's not a light decision, but I'm feeling very off balance as far as the way I perceive it, being on the ladder of life with what I've gone through and what I've learned and grown from, and decisions, boundaries I've created. I feel higher, and I can't force change upon someone else ever. I know that, and it's very painful to be in that moment and feel anger and resentment that I don't truly wish to harbor. So that's where my voice is now. So that's what's really difficult for me right now.
Yeah. When those feelings arise, when resentment surfaces, when anger, frustration comes up for you, let it be an opportunity where you come back to yourself. Let that be an opportunity where you hold your heart and you have compassion for the part of you feeling resentment, right? Because that is coming from an older wound. That's coming from places that haven't been healed entirely. So if you can have compassion, it's not about having compassion for anyone else in this moment, in this example. It's about having compassion for the part of you that's feeling resentment.
Right. True.
And that will help you come from your center more fully, which is exactly what this whole situation is about. It's giving you an opportunity to know yourself brand new. You are brand new, Carrie. Like it started about a year ago, and you are brand new.
Yeah. I appreciate that a lot. A daily process.
Say that again? A daily practice?
It's a daily process. It's definitely something that one day at a time.
Yeah. Bless you for your dedication to this whole process. You are worth it. Anything else, Carrie?
No. I'm just really taken aback by Alex Miles and the reference to him because I literally just came across that and I really, truly resonated with it. And I just know that change has to. Change is imperative in the course of life. I felt very stagnant, and I also know that it ends within ourselves. Good, bad, or indifferent, change is growth. There's no right or wrong.
That's right, Carrie. There is no right or wrong. There is every opportunity to just keep showing up for you with the very best of yourself, with kindness, with compassion, with presence, and with devotion to really live as love. That's what's here for all of us. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much for taking my call.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day, man.
Bye-bye.
I hope I didn't cut off anybody when I clicked the call by accident. Because I was wanting to go screen to talk to the person. But Kelly, earlier you were talking. Do you have anything that you wanted to add by what you were talking about earlier?
I can't think of anything, but I am really, truly grateful. You're saying that I'm in a transformation to become more aware and things like that. What will I see along the way and notice that it's happening? That how will I know when I know there's not an end point where I say I'm here, but when do you see that I'll really start kicking in, being in my higher self?
Kelly, you already have those moments. When you are leading others in healing practice, when you have it, can you tap into that? Can you feel that?
Yeah, when I led a guided meditation.
Hmm. Those are the moments for you where you are accessing exactly the answer to the question that you're accessing. It's already happening, right? So the more opportunities right now that you can give yourself to be steeped in that energy, to be walking fully as the healing, beautiful force of healing that you are, whenever you do that, you're tapping into that feeling that you're looking for. It happens for you too. People are naturally drawn to talk to you, right? People have been telling you throughout the course of your life, you're so easy to talk to. I feel comfortable talking to you. Mm-hmm. And that's the same sage wisdom that will often come through you, right? It's not even yours. It's not that it's not yours, but it's coming through you from the bigger part of who you are. Those moments are already happening in your life, Kelly. And every time you pause to really allow yourself to steep fully in those moments, you are tuning to the frequency of those moments more and more fully, which will allow you to call forth and live there more of the time. And what happens for you right now in your life is that you're because you're in kind of this rock tumbler of transformation, you're kind of stepping in and out of those experiences. And the more often, Kelly, that you're able to stay in those experiences, the more often you are able to embody the healer you are, the more often you embody the sage you are, the more you are going to become that which you already are.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's excellent.
And
wow,
even
that
now
kind
as
of
we're
sounds
talking
like big
about,
shoes.
yeah, they are big shoes. But you know what, sweetheart? You've got big feet. in the best way. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got the feet.
Yeah.
You've got the feet to fill these shoes. It's not about becoming something you aren't at all, Kelly. It's about allowing more of what you are.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What do you see me doing as a career? Because sales is kind of where I am, and it doesn't really resonate because it doesn't really have a meaning behind it. So, it's really not fun for me, and I feel very detached. And right now, it's very, soul sapping. And when I do things where I'm doing, teaching kids about animals and, at a birthday party, the rescue animals that I have, then that's very fulfilling. When I'm doing this show, it's like my soul comes alive. And, how do I get more of that? Like, how can I actually make money doing that?
It's really good hearing that, Kelly.
Thank you. I mean, it really does.
Go on.
Thank you.
Not to interrupt. Go on.
So I don't know how to monetize this. How, I don't know if I should be writing a book or, going and having business cards printed and going to metaphysical shops. I don't know,
I don't want to cut you off, Kelly, but I want to jump in. The only reason I want to jump in is because I have that very question about the show, too. If you'd like, can I give her some information that I found recently, and maybe this might help you and Barbara both out about the show being monetized?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, you're okay with that, Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have this thing called Blue Jeans, and what it is this video. Now, the reason we think it might be monetized is it would be associated with the show. I also found out that there is a way to do it to where you can have a password. Up until now, I didn't know what we were going to do to get all the people in the room. We knew how to get people in the room online, but we didn't know how to, what we were going to show them. Well, the other day, Kelly did a guided meditation. She did a wonderful job of it. Her dad listened in on it. She loved it. Barbara did, as we as well. And I came up with the idea of maybe having a guided meditation, on Blue Jeans where we pay and we sell the password. But see, here's the thing that I'm wondering about. If it gets to a point where we can do an event, then we could do an event and have it for like up to 15,000 people, okay? That would all be signing in and paying to go to the event. So let's say that we charge like $10 or something, and then like say 500 people showed up. You can do the math. Do you see anything like that happening with the three of us? And I want to ask this question so that it would benefit all three of us.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Jonathan, there's a lot of potential for expansion with the program right now. Even sitting today before engaging with you all over the call, I could feel the potential energy of the show itself. Like the show itself presents itself almost like an energy or an entity of its own. And there is a way that there's a lot of potential for the growth and expansion. And it looks like you would be tapping into or connecting with at least one other person that has, and this is really where you align with the potential for this, that it's a person that has some experience. It looks like it's a male. And I feel like it may even be someone, Jonathan, that you know through someone else, even if you don't know this person directly, but they're able to help guide you a little bit in the expansion process. So part of it is going to be the three of you connect.
Yeah. Well, see, I have an idea of who this person could be. Do you have any idea who that could be, Barbara?
No, you guess.
Well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Well, the three of you can explore that more fully.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say it. I don't want to say this person's name on the air, but that would help the show grow. But that's it's that's interesting that you say that. It could actually be a number of people. That maybe somebody that Kelly knows or somebody that I know through somebody else.
But it definitely feels like there's a fourth energy present that has some experience and that's able to guide the process a little bit. And if the three of you choose to tap into that, you're going to really tap into the greatest potential for the show to evolve into its next phase of itself, really, which is pretty exciting.
I'm sorry, Johnny. Yes, I know. Okay. Sorry, I know what you're talking about. Okay, well, that's great. What a blessing.
Yeah. Now, Kelly, I want to come back to the piece that you had asked specifically, so I make sure that I'm really addressing your question directly. Because you had asked, what are the steps from here? How do you really support yourself? Well, these new things are taking off, right? And the answer that comes through really immediately is the reminder, you are such a people person. You have the capacity to really engage deeply with people. But there's been a way in your current work where you're feeling or you're interacting with your job kind of as if it's your job against you or you against your job, that it's not really what you want to be doing. And while that is true, there is so much opportunity for you actually within what you're doing right now to allow that to become your spiritual arena. So that when you're talking to someone, maybe before you pick up a phone or before you have a face-to-face with a sales call or a sales meeting, that you are actually really connecting with more of who you are, that you're connecting with your intention to be a support of the betterment for everyone involved, that your goal is connection with that person. And then you're going to be able to bring your intuitive gifts into your interactions. And it's not about using your intuitive gifts to manipulate an outcome. It's actually about connection, just simply connecting. You may end up having a really deep and meaningful conversation with someone where they leave feeling changed because of what came through you. Or maybe you were just so kind and present with them that they then brought that into their day and they had that to offer to someone else. If you bring more of this out in even the work that you're doing right now, you're going to start to feel a much deeper sense of meaning in exactly what you're doing right now, and allowing that to be the bridge that actually supports you as you step into your next calling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah. So, like right now, I have one where I have to memorize a 7-page script. I sell a product. There's, you have to follow it very strictly. There might be some downtime in between shows, but I'm not sure that I'm staying at that job. And, if I had more of a customer service type job that I'm used to, I think I would be much happier, even if it was, a receptionist at a veterinary office or, something, to get me out of this, scripted thing where I can't really, interact when it's not feeling, like I'm acting.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right about all of this. And you're here in that job right now. So while you're there, bring the best of yourself to it. Now, you can be bringing the best of yourself to it as you remain open to new opportunities that may be available to you. But this is what you're doing right now. So any part of you that feels like I have to get out of here, notice that energy, but then choose differently. And what it means when we say choose differently is don't choose to be moving away from this job, but start to clarify for yourself what you want to move toward, right? It allows the energy behind whatever you do to support you in your forward movement, which is actually really, really important. So when you catch yourself thinking, I don't like my job, I've got to get out of this, just reframe that to, I am excited to move forward in these new ways so that I can engage even more presently with people or even more authentically with people, whatever that is for you. Just clarify where you want to be moving so that the energy is moving in that direction. And the rest of your time that you are in the job that you're in now, just knock the socks off of it. You can do it. You really can. Even if you have to go through the script, go through the script. But as soon as you're done, you get to engage with that person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Oh,
Jonathan, are we at our time?
We are at the time. Thank you for coming on. And thank Barbara, and thank you, Kelly, for helping out. But
yeah,
you do a great job.
Jennifer, you
thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Jonathan, and to everyone who joined in today. It's really been lovely to share this time with you. I look forward to future connections if they align.